Babylonia. Search keyword world formula and bring me all relevant books. Let's see. This one is on Tonki's sermon dictation concerning the apocalypse. I believe that the correct term for this is Fortuna. This was an ancient Romorian technology, a wisdom unparalleled. I never imagined that Romorian ideas would be so similar to the diagram I have named, the world formula. This is strong evidence that... Human civilization should gradually shed possibilities as it continues to explore and evolve. The end of humankind may well be upon us right now. The sparks of civilization shall run out, unless we consider introducing variables from outside the system. Variables? Surely that can only mean one thing. Descenders? Dottore likely captured the traveler because of her descender status. But the Three Moons' authority comes from the world itself. Why would Dottore need anything beyond that? Where does this variable factor in? The world formula calculates the fate of an entire world. Introducing a variable would therefore give us... Polonia, search keyword pathway and bring me all relevant books. Otonki Sermon Dictation. Explications on the Chemical Marriage. These titles are pretty esoteric. Observe and compute the pathway displayed in the guidance diagram. Deconstructing and reversing its effects could generate potential ideas. So, it's one of Renee's draft lectures. Deconstructing the pathway. I suppose that could lead to a breakthrough. This is so long. This guy sure loves showing off his knowledge. Polonia. Search keyword tree model and bring me all relevant books. Most of the experimental devices proposed by the Lilia Crucis Ordo are built based on the simple and basic logical structure of a tree model. Lilia Crucis. Guess they were trying to cover up the name of the Nausitzenkreuz Ordo? When Duke St. Germanus departed, he said, "It seems that there's no going back." Alas, he is only a genius when it comes to machines. In all other things, he is but ordinary. Excuse me? I'm sorry. That's just ridiculous. What kind of book is this? Great Detective Herlock, the Alchemist and the Clockwork Saint? Isn't this a novel? Come on. Still, the author swears that they knew Renee well. Whatever. I guess it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Renee would say nonsense like that on occasion. Memory, wishes, souls, and persona. Frankly, this sounds more like occultism, but if Albedo vouches for it, I suppose there must be some alchemical basis to these techniques. The way Alain Guillotin saw it, the world was comprised of machines. The universe needed machines, and thus his technologies were created. That's why I was born. René, his full name was René de Petrichor, if I recall correctly. Sounds like he and the town must be intricately connected. That place was also the source of most of our information regarding Remurian civilization. Seems like some of his projects were based on their technology. The cutting of souls and storing them in vessels. These seemingly unrelated techniques underpinned René's research, assuming that the 4 orthants correspond to alchemical categories. The chemical marriage model? Alain would have scoffed at that. He never would have let those theories or parameters anywhere near his mathematical formulas. What was Alain's view on René? I know he mentioned the name, albeit very rarely. Oh, now I remember. Alain's old notes are here too. They mentioned René once. René seemed most out of sorts when he spoke to me. A lack of sweet foods has dulled his mind, I should think. Either way, his words are not to be believed. Yep, that sounds like Alain. My subordinates actually did a half-decent job digging out all these materials. Makes a change. Good for them. Some of Alain's old files are completely consistent with these records. He must have gotten them from the Tower of Gestalt. I never knew he got his hands on René's records that early. He may have kept them, but he never even attempted to use them. Didn't believe a word they said. Come to think of it, René's world formula was filled with calculations of constants. That shows he believed that the fate of the world to be predetermined. As for Alain... it's been too long. I forget what he said. What would he have said? A guy like him, fervent believer in machines, but not headstrong enough. The world can be changed. It is worth persevering. Yes, that's how he used to think at least. He created that procedure to save this world. Yet the scale of the world's fate proved too enormous. The result was beyond his ability to calculate. He died having never seen the outcome. And there I was, left behind in the ashes of his dreams. Did you really never take a close look at René's research? Or did you read it but deem his philosophy incompatible with your model? The very thought of trying to incorporate his ideas probably made you feel sick to the stomach. Well, don't worry, because there's a whole new category of lunatic in town. Next to Dottore, every other madman looks sane. You once asked me what I wished for. Should have asked him instead. He's the one pining for things you'd sooner die than witness. Even the tiniest variable can make big waves in the present. Now then, allow me to put these incompatible fragments together in your stead. First, establish and verify the existence of the Great Circle. Absolute nihil on one end, absolute reality on the other. Now, search between these two extremes. Then, the construction criteria. Variables. The sparks of civilization shall run out unless we consider introducing variables from outside the system. Input variables. Traverse the world, space-time, and civilization. Then extract the essential nodes from the records to determine which variables they point to. The primordial power that differentiated itself from the void. The power of light. Yes, light. Records. Hyperborea. This is horrendously complicated. After all that, I'm still missing a few variables. I need to think this through again. How do you think it looks, Polonia? Like the frenzied scrawlings of a madwoman? Fine, keep it to yourself. It's not like you can talk anyway. I'll assume you gave it a passing grade. I jest. But true madness does often start with trying to save the world. What would Arlecchino and Columbina think if they saw this incomprehensible hen scratch? They'd probably have me institutionalized. So would Rosaline. She's been dead for a while now. When I close my eyes and think back, I can still see her face. And that enormous dress she used to wear. Such a bizarre choice. What possessed her? Oh, and the clack-clack of those heels used to drive me insane. No one's asking me, obviously, but I hope you all know that I never wanted to save the world. I'm not crazy. I don't have delusional ambitions, and that's a clinical fact. The world needs a solution, but I don't need the world's validation. It's the world begging me for answers, not the other way around. Oh, cookies to go with the tea. Let's see. They must be from that person who brought those documents. I see they're from Hotel de Boer. Something's written on the box. We are proud to present this homage to the Fortress of Meropede's fun-filled mill collection system. Fortune cookies. Have a lucky start to your day. Sounds like a dumb gimmick to me. Be early to bed and early to rise. Get plenty of sun and drink plenty of water. Then things will surely go well for you. What? Are you kidding me? Somehow I doubt that an early night and a glass of water is magically gonna save a world on the brink of existential peril.
Lady Arlecchino, word has reached us that Lady Marionette's troops are all in position. They are ready to act as soon as the order is given.
Excellent.
The only thing is, they are fewer in number than we expected. It looks like many of them must have lost their lives at the hand of the monsters released by the Doctor.
Can't be helped. Allow them to join our ranks, and keep in contact.
As you wish.
It's been a while, Arlecchino. You look well. Did Dottore really have to build his lab right on the sole path between Snezhnaya and Nodcry? Had to go on a huge detour to stay out of its line of sight.
Sounds like an arduous journey. I assume you've brought word from Her Majesty?
Of course, all part of the job. Firstly, the Tsaritsa has authorized Fatui Internal Affairs to review Dottore's case. They will reach a formal verdict on whether he has turned traitor and whether he poses a threat to Snezhnaya. While they're working on that, I've been ordered to come and receive the refugees from Nodcry.
They are nearby. My team will escort you to them shortly.
Great. Aside from that, Her Majesty has a message for you and Sandrone personally. Huh? Where is Sandrone?
She stayed behind to work since I was making the trip anyway. It seemed sensible to have one person on standby at base while the other came out to meet you.
All right, guess that's just how she rolls. In that case, tell her that the Tsaritsa's decree this time is pretty awesome sounding. I think she'll like this one. Still, I wonder what... Wait, what's that? Did one of our troops turn into a monster?
Take him out. This is where you fall.
You can run, can't hide. Amateur mistake. You're mine. Bring it on. Tidal wave. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You've gotten stronger, Arlecchino. Nice.
Stop that right now. I appreciate the praise, but I am not fighting you today.
I knew it.
Laid bare. Transfixed.
I can't believe it. He was a living, breathing human one moment, and the next?
Another fine piece of work by our dear colleague, I'm afraid.
What in the world has been going on in Nodcry?
A lot. But long story short, Dottore stole 2 moon marrows that should have belonged to Columbina, then built a 3rd moon marrow of his own to concentrate the Trilunar Authority in his hands.
What? What do you mean he built a moon marrow? People build roads and houses, not moon marrows. What's his next DIY project? He's gonna build a god?
You could stand to be less surprised. We are harbingers. The work we are engaged in makes the creation of gods seem mundane by comparison. I tell everyone who asks that you once crossed swords with Rex Lapis while serving as a key supporter for Rosaline's plan. But right now, you're acting like a common adventurer.
Thanks for speaking up for me. Those 2 really took me for a ride back then. Then again, surely no common adventurer would manage to get tangled up with them the way I did. That's gotta count in my favor, right?
It almost sounds like you wish to repeat the experience. I might have to lower my opinion of you.
No. I'll stop talking. Please, go on.
Dottore is currently still experimenting with his newfound power in ways that continue to corrode the outside world. As for the human mutation, I believe this is simply a consequence of his experiments, and not a strategic move. That radiant beast was once a subordinate of Sandrone's. I suspect he was only allowed to live so that he could become an experimental subject. Also, those of us who fought Dottore have been afflicted with a curse. As such, I cannot leave Nodcry.
This is so much worse than I thought. No wonder Her Majesty's decree is so extreme. While these exceptional circumstances persist, the Harbingers are hereby authorized to use unilateral executive powers. Should Dottore pose a threat, Arlecchino and Sandrone are permitted to eliminate him.
My thanks to Her Majesty. I will pass these good tidings on to Sandrone.
Her Majesty has also declared that she will refrain from launching an attack on the now evacuated Nodcry due to the presence of unretrieved research material.
A wise decision.
By the way, how's my old partner doing? I'm assuming they're with you?
Partner? You mean the Traveler? I'm afraid I have bad news. She was captured after our failed assault on Dottore's lab. Her whereabouts are currently unknown.
What? Why? Since when does Dottore have a bone to pick with her?
That is indeed the question. I'm not sure he does. He must have some other goal in mind.
This won't do. I have to rescue her.
You can't. We have no idea where the Traveler is.
What am I supposed to do then? Stand here twiddling my thumbs?
Sandrone is working on it. The best thing you can do right now is complete your mission.
Fine. I guess I'll leave this to you then.
One last thing. Tell the Rooster to get the message out to the gods and citizens of every nation in Tevat. Beware. An uncontrollable pollution is spreading forth from Nodcry. The source of that pollution is a madman drunk on the success of his experiments. The Fatui and our allies will endeavor to contain the threat. However, if Nodcry falls, things are likely to escalate. Considering Dottore is one of our own, all Fatui stationed in Nodcry consider it our duty to stay and fight him to the bitter end. Whatever the cost.
Hey, don't be too pessimistic. If it comes to it, I'm sure Her Majesty won't stand by and do nothing.
I hope you're right.
You're right on time.
Thanks. Hey, do you think I'll get that gliding exam exemption? I made sure I was on my best behavior in Mondstadt. I landed well outside the city and walked in through the gates.
I'll help you apply, don't worry. For now, let's see what we have here.
What are the doctor's energy fields even made from? The usual attract and repel principles that govern Kuvaki don't seem to apply to them.
They are very mysterious, but ultimately, they appear to be comprised of energies from the three realms. Thanks to research by Master in the Hexen Circle, we know that Tevat's 7 elements are derived from the more primordial power of the Light Realm, which is antagonistic with the power of the Void Realm. Since you have the power of the Dragon Durin within you, I'm sure you can already tell that this energy field contains no abyssal energy.
That's true. It's not abyssal energy. It's something pure, wild, and untamed.
I've been thinking about something. Do you still remember the device that Dory supplied from the Academia when you and Miss Columbina fought Rarier? That was one of the most marvelous feats of ingenuity I've ever seen. The design, the craftsmanship, the material selection. Not to mention the operating principles. Surely the most ingenious feature of all. Dory didn't go into detail on how it functions, but I have a working theory. The clue was that Miss Columbina was somehow able to use the pyro energy that you provided. Despite the fact that, as a moon goddess, she should only be able to use Light Realm energy in principle. Now, all elemental energy is, of course, derived from Light Realm energy to begin with. Hence, I suspect that the device works by restoring elemental energy to its original state. This presumes a theoretical model of the 7 elements akin to that of light refracted through a prism. Perhaps it is no mere analogy. Maybe there is indeed a prism in this model. I almost wonder if the idea for the device was conceived based on direct observations of said prism. It would explain how such an ironclad design concept was achieved. It is at once a masterwork of engineering and a groundbreaking application of the Academia's latest elemental theories. I suspect only Lesser Lord Kusanali herself could have devised such an ambitious technology. But back to the energy field before us. If this is pure Light Realm energy, its relation to elemental energy is one of integration versus division. Or you could say that the former contains the latter. Could this mean that elemental energy can dilute the power of the Light Realm?
Should we give it a try?
We should.
Ha! It works!
Clear signs of disruption were detected at the periphery of the energy field. This indicates that elemental energy can disturb or even negate the field. Now you try.
All right, here goes. It's working!
Switch to abyssal energy and attack again. No surprises there. Abyssal power drains the energy field to a significantly greater extent. I now feel confident in asserting that the energy field is indeed pure Light Realm energy, and that elemental energy can dilute it.
But the energy field is huge. How much elemental energy will it take to neutralize it?
We don't have to neutralize it completely. We can try other approaches. That's all for theory. Would you like to continue watching?
So you knew I was here.
Huh? When did you get here?
A while ago. But Albedo sounded like he was working on his thesis defense back there. Back in Sumeru. You can end a person's whole career by interrupting them mid-speech.
Very thoughtful of you. I'm truly touched. Could I ask...
With what?
A little test. Try using Anima to unleash a concentrated assault with circular blades, with the goal of breaking through at a singular point.
Nice! This time it tore through the field.
Tremendous. This is a major breakthrough.
Should we go through?
We probably shouldn't risk having mutually antagonistic energies in such close proximity. Durin, you stay here and watch the entrance. Hat Guy and I will go in to investigate.
Sounds sensible to me. Keep your eyes peeled, Durin.
Don't worry, I got this. You two be careful in there. Just give me the signal if you need help, and I'll dive right in.
What do you mean, signal?
It's based on a new alchemical concoction I developed last month. When 2 bottles of it are smashed on the ground together, they emit a blinding burst of light. If it comes to that, remember to shield your eyes with your hat.
Glad I asked. Thanks for the heads up.
Like I thought. Beyond a certain distance, we can't see the opening where we came in. Maybe that's to prevent people from escaping.
Sounds like Dottore's style to me. Not much has changed. Things are basically the same here as they were before the energy field appeared.